is a choir or a therapeutic group singing experience for people who are living with dementia and people who are caring for someone who has dementia.
I am with my husband Ivan in the choir and have been since about June 2016.
I'm here with my mum, Betty.
Hi, Betty.
Hello, darling. This is my surgeon.
Yeah, this is my mum.
Go for it.
Mum's musical background is that she loved music from the very start of life. She eventually became a member of the Australian Opera Company singing principal roles.
I was no good at singing and he was even worse at singing. When we had friends get together, they were singing always, so we would join in, but that was no proper singing.
Music therapist Dr. Jeanette Tamplin was one of the researchers from the University of Melbourne who ran the original study and first facilitated the choir, along with music therapist Dr. Imogen Clark.
Because there's been a trend for people to stay at home longer, we just wanted to, and we know that people with dementia and also their caregivers both are at high risk for depression and isolation and things like that. We just thought that a group music therapy program would be an ideal way to sort of try and tackle that problem.
So the way the choir is designed, it's designed to have a therapeutic focus. We're really looking at getting people moving, so we do lots of stretching when we start, we do some funny vocal exercises, and then we do some kind of more traditional scales and stuff like that. Then we bring up a board where we're very fortunate to have a projector, and we have an index of songs that have been chosen over time by members of the choir. We spend probably the majority of the session doing participant choice, so we ask people to make a suggestion, and then towards the end we usually do something that's a bit more challenging. So we've done a lot of part singing. Our participants have expressed a really keen interest in learning songs from other languages as well. At the end we all get together in a big circle and we sing goodbye, and then we sit around and have afternoon tea and have a cuppa and a chat, which is a really, really vital part of the choir rehearsal as well, something about the social support that people receive from coming along.
The choir challenges preconceptions about what people with dementia can and can't do.
Last week we had a gentleman who doesn't speak very much anymore, and they sang a song in his language. We actually had a guest from Slovenia attend, who's a student coming here and to observe the choir, and she started singing in his language.
So I actually asked her, does she know any Croatian song from the older time? And she said, oh yeah, that would be lovely. And then when she said, and Ivan's eyes just glittered when she said, oh, let's sing it. And then Ivan joined in and he sang louder than I sang.
In this choir, we've seen over and over and over again, dementia doesn't stop a person from singing, nor does it stop them from remembering songs or learning songs.
Music is really connected to memory and emotion as well as speech. It's a whole brain process using different networks in the brain, but it's also, we think it's processed in the area in the brain that's really close to memory processing. It's in the medial prefrontal cortex that happens, and that's one of the later areas to deteriorate in dementia.
The personal connections people have made are another big reason why people keep coming back to the choir. A report in 2016 by Alzheimer's Australia, now Dementia Australia, showed that 57% of people with dementia experience high loneliness. They are twice as likely to not see friends and 3 times as likely to not have a friend to confide in, compared with carers and the general public. 1 in 2 carers also reported high loneliness.
When you see a friend who used to come over and say hello, let's have a coffee, and then suddenly, not ignoring, but crossing the road, going up their way. Having dementia doesn't mean that you don't want to see your friends anymore. You still want to talk to them. You mightn't be able to remember what you spoke to them about 5 minutes ago, but you still enjoy that moment and still remember them as friends.
Choir has helped me to survive, to mix with people of the same situation, learn from each other how to handle situation.
All the carers were very supportive of each other, and we've all become very, very good friends, and that's what you don't have when you're at home on your own looking after a person with dementia. You're isolated too.
The Musical Memories pilot study has led to several new choirs being formed as part of a randomised control trial project called Reminiscing. But despite the success of Musical Memories, recruitment for Reminiscing has been difficult.
We know that people living in the community with dementia are much more at risk to be socially isolated, which is the whole reason why we're doing this. But because they're isolated and they're maybe not connecting to other support networks, they may not hear about it.
But Reminiscing have their champions at Musical Memories.
Reminiscing people for Jeanette and Imogen. I promised myself I'll volunteer wherever is need to volunteer. For the choir, for the dementia, for anything that goes with dementia, because it's important to me to help others.
This passion also continues through Musical Memories as they search for new avenues for funding to keep their choir going.
We've been lucky enough till now to get more funding, and Imogen and Jeanette have been working on that, and now Zara's working on that, so the members of the choir will do whatever we can.
We're in the process of applying for different grants and support and taking support from people where we can.
Everybody tried everywhere too, so now we'll be singing for a gold coin donation.
Sing for your supper.
Yeah, sing for our supper, yeah.
Thank you, darling.
Thank you.